gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms. Welcome each and every single one of you back here to the channel right here on YouTube.com. It is, of course, Friday, August 20th, 2021. And I am greatly thankful to have each and every single one of you here joining me on this fine Friday. If you noticed, I do sound a little bit under the weather. I am currently dealing with a head cold right now. It was in my house. Unfortunately, it got to me. I do feel a little bit better than I did a few days ago. So I am currently on the road to recovery. I should be a hell of a lot better by Monday. But I am going to just be relaxing after the stream. I'm going to sleep in tomorrow. Hopefully everything will work out okay. I'd like to thank each and every single one of you for stopping by. Thank you, Hoolagrim. Thank you, DD. Thank you, Rob Wells Jr. Thank you, Cameron Johnson, as well. I know I saw you saying that you were in class right now, but it ain't stopping you from stopping by the LFU. I greatly appreciate you. But if I do sound a little bit under the weather, please let me know. Please let me know how everything's working out. Make sure the volume is okay. The volume's all right. I think the volume may be all right. Is the volume coming good through my microphone? So let me know. How you doing, Adam Carl? Dee Dee, is the volume coming? Is it a little better now? Is it a little better now? Let me know how the microphone is coming in. I'm trying to modify it. I think it's okay now. I think it's okay. Now it's okay. Okay, good. So, that's number one. Obviously, I have a head cold. Thank you for wishing me a speedy recovery, Rob Wells Jr. I greatly appreciate you. Also, a little speed bump in the road. Twitter decided to suspend my account again. Who cares at this rate? I don't. I got plenty more important things to worry about. I'm currently working on getting it back. Filed a couple of appeals. Thank you. Making sure the mic is good. Yes, we got SummerSlam 2011 in the background. Thank you very much for pointing that out, Mr. Adam Carl. Please make sure you share out the stream. We want to get as many people in here as possible. We got a lot of material to discuss here on the LFU. Hopefully, I should not be too bad. I may need to blow my nose here and there. Obviously, I'm a little bit stuffed up. It's kind of migrated all to my nose now. Thankfully, it's not on my chest anymore. Excuse me. But hey, even with the cold, I'm going to get the best content out here for you guys no matter what. Now, first things first, before we get started, please make sure you follow me on social media. Follow me on Instagram at @TheDJStorms. Add me on Facebook for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is, all of those links will be in the description. If you guys missed the rundown for not NXT TakeOver, SummerSlam 2021 with Hibiki TMD. He joined me on the rundown last night. That link is in the description if you want to go check that out. If you missed it, please go and check that out. He was awesome. I'm very happy that I had him on for the new format that we got going on for the Lightning Flash update. Some good stuff right there. Also, I was actually on his channel. I was on his channel this week for Hibiki High Spots. We reviewed SummerSlam 1998, the year that really kickstarted the Attitude Era. So if you want to go and check that one out, please go check that one out. It was awesome. We reviewed all the matches that went down at SummerSlam 1998. It was mainly a two-match show. So if you really want our full analytical dissection and opinions on it, please go check that out. Link is also in the description. Tomorrow at 3:30 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time before SummerSlam. Joseph Conlon of the Big Fight Feel YouTube channel will be joining me right here on the channel for the rundown for NXT TakeOver 36. We're going to dissect what could very well be the last takeover ever. So please, if you want to go and check that one out, set your calendar dates. It's tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time before SummerSlam goes live on the air. I'm going to try not to yell. I'm going to try not to scream too much because I really don't want to blow up my voice. I really don't want to re-agitate my throat. My throat's okay. My throat's okay right now. It's not scratchy. Hopefully it stays that way. So I'm not really going to yell. I'm not really going to scream. I'm going to try and keep it a little mellow. I know a lot of people love my rants, and a lot of people love my yelling, a lot of people love my screaming, trust me. But I'm actually going to try and keep it a little bit mellow because I really don't want to re-agitate my throat. Colds are the absolute worst, people. Colds are the absolute worst. Let me tell you something. This is like the first time in over 2 years that I've been sick. I have not gotten sick since June of 2019. I guess nothing good lasts forever. Nothing good really lasts forever. But who the fuck cares? The water helps. Water helps soothe the throat, you know? We are about almost 7 minutes into the stream. If you haven't liked the stream, I really don't know what you're doing because we got some goals we want to reach here. To answer your question, Dee, yes, I did have some hot tea. I had some hot tea on Wednesday. I actually had 2 cups of hot tea, and that really helped my throat. So please, people, please make sure you hit that like button when you come on in. We got goals we want to reach. We reached the goal of 25 likes for the rundown for SummerSlam, so we're going to see if we can reach 25 likes for the Lightning Flash update today. Please make sure when you hit that like button, be sure to share out the stream on all platforms, social media, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Tumblr, whatever social media platforms that you use. TikTok, I don't use TikTok. I think it's quite cancerous. But hey, if you use TikTok, go and share it out to TikTok if you want. Get as many people in here as possible. We want to get as many people in here as possible, making sure that everyone knows DJ Storms is on YouTube. What's going on, Brian King? Thank you very much for stopping by. Thank you very much for hitting that like button. You are fantastic, as per usual. Please make sure you come on in, you hit the like button, you share the stream out on all platforms of social media because we want to get as many people in here as possible. I'm talking about your mothers, your fathers, your brothers, your sisters, sons, your daughters, aunts, uncles, grandparents, cousins, dogs, cats, and your guinea pigs. Of course, Danielle knows why we want to get those guinea pigs in there because they live longer lives when DJ Storms is exposed to them. So if you got a guinea pig, please make sure you expose them to DJ Storms. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button when you come on in. And of course, hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, baby, it is the best time to be on the YouTube. Because it's the only time you won't get to see this glorious sideburn, chin strap combination and this beautiful mustache right here. It's Earl Cole's favorite part of the show. We're probably going to see Earl Cole a little bit later on, but we're going to light it up right here. You already know what time it is. It's magic comb time, baby. A little dash of with a little bit of and a whole lot of Everybody wants a piece of the Stormsmeister, and even when I got a cold, I'm still as charismatic, as cocky, and as dashing as you can possibly get. I love it. Anyway, guinea pigs unite, Danielle. Oh, chickens as well. Of course, Rob Wells Jr. pointing out those chickens as well. Anyway. Enough of the self-brand promotion, the advertisements. We're going to get straight into the news, rumors, and reports here in the Lightning Flash update. Again, I apologize for sounding under the weather a bit. I'm going to do what I can to get better. My first report. Please keep on sharing out the stream. Keep on hitting that like button. You already know the drill. My first report comes from Andrew Zarian. Last week, Andrew Zarian of the Mat Men podcast actually tweeted out a report regarding King of the Ring returning. Yes, you heard me correctly. King of the Ring returning. So, the tweet from last week read from Andrew Zarian, and I quote, King of the Ring tournament to take place in October. The finals also taking place in Saudi Arabia, along with the Queen of the Ring finals. Now, if King of the Ring is reportedly returning, I don't have an issue with that, but I'm going to say the same thing that I've always said when it comes to King of the Ring. It all revolves around what the end game is for the King of the Ring. Because if they book King of the Ring and they give the winner a shitty King gimmick like they've done with the last few King of the Ring winners, or if the same thing with the Queen of the Ring, if they give the winner of Queen of the Ring a shitty Queen gimmick, then it's not going to work out. If you're going to do a King of the Ring tournament, you need to book it correctly. Winners get title opportunities. The winners receive a title opportunity of their choosing against whatever brand that they're associated with, or if they're a part of the NXT brand, if they include NXT, which I don't expect them to, if they include NXT, then it's the NXT individual, should they win it, they get a choice. WWE or Universal Championship, or if it's Queen of the Ring, Raw Women's Championship or SmackDown Women's Championship. It's all about how they book it. And to be quite honest with you, if I'm going to be quite honest, the fact that it's being rumored to take place in Saudi Arabia, should things work out correctly, I don't think that's a good start. Because these Saudi Arabian shows have absolutely no energy whatsoever. The Saudi Arabian shows are pretty much equivalent to the PC shows that they were putting on in front of nobody. When they were putting on those PC shows in front of nobody, that was pretty much equivalent to the Saudi Arabian shows. No one gave a shit. No one gave a shit, nobody cared. So, right then and there, it looks like they're just taking this King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring concepts for complete granted. That's number one. But number two, again, it's all about how you book it. It's all about how you portray it. If it's not for the world title opportunities, then don't even bother doing it. Don't even bother doing it. It's a waste of time. I got a report from what happened at Triple Mania last Saturday. As many of you know, Kenny Omega, he fought Andrade El Idolo for the AAA Mega Championship last Saturday at Triple Mania 29. So last Saturday at Triple Mania 29, Ric Flair, yes, Ric Flair, he joined Andrade El Idolo in his corner for his match against Kenny Omega for the AAA Mega Championship. Omega ended up retaining, but Flair and Andrade ended up chopping Omega afterwards, and Flair ended up putting Conan, who accompanied Omega to the ring, in the figure four leg lock. Kenny Omega then took to Twitter after the show to address Andrade, and the tweet read, and I quote, "Hey, at Andrade El Idolo, I'll admit it, you're tough. You came close, but that stunt with at Ric Flair Nature Boy, not in 2021 and not in my ring, pal. You made it personal." Dave Meltzer then came out on Wrestling Observer Radio stating that Andrade was originally supposed to win at Triple Mania. He was supposed to win. But AEW official Tony Khan, he did not want Omega to lose twice in the span of 2 days. Meltzer stated original plans for the AAA Mega Championship match. Andrade was originally supposed to win. AEW asked them to hold off on Kenny dropping the title, so AAA said okay. End quote. So, originally I was thinking to myself, well, why would they have Andrade lose? Really makes no sense, especially considering what happened on Rampage. So, I'm not sure what's going on there. But then, this report came out, Omega tweeted out what he tweeted out, and I'm thinking to myself here, Well, it looks like they're planning a rematch. Looks like they are indeed planning a rematch. Looks like they are indeed going to do this rematch at a later date. And who knows, they could very well do it on Dynamite. They could very well do it on Dynamite or Rampage. I wouldn't mind them doing it on either show because both of those shows are shaping up to be must-see television programming. Both of those shows are seemingly shaping up to look just as important. So at the end of the day, at the end of it all, I don't mind this. I don't mind this whatsoever. And to a certain extent, I can understand why Tony Khan didn't want Omega to lose back-to-back. I'm guessing, and this is just me speculating, I'm guessing that what they plan on doing is they possibly have a plan in place to have Omega. Obviously, he's going to go over Christian Cage at All Out. Christian Cage is not winning the World Championship. That is being reserved for Adam Hangman Page. We're going to see Andrade beat Pac. He's going to join forces with the Lucha Bros. Whether or not the Lucha Bros win the tournament and beat the Bucks, he's going to join forces with the Lucha Bros, right? He'll join forces with the Lucha Bros. And we are going to see Andrade face off against Omega sometime after the All Out pay-per-view. Maybe we do see it on Rampage. Maybe we see it on the Dynamite after All Out. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm okay with this. I don't have an issue with this. Because at the end of the day, what this tells me and what this should tell you, Andrade is still in the plans to win. Andrade is still in the plans to take the AAA Mega Championship off of Omega. And at the end of the day, I don't think anyone's going to have a problem with that. Andrade's going to look great. He's going to look great. I got a tweet from Brian Alvarez. He provided an update on yet another change to the NXT format. As you know, I reported last week what's going down with NXT and everything that's going on with NXT and how they are completely changing and the format's changing and they don't want any more midgets, whatever it may be. So, Brian Alvarez tweeted out that NXT is going back to taped shows. The tweet read, and I quote, "It appears NXT is returning to tape shows in advance starting next Monday and Tuesday nights," which of course is this coming Monday and this coming Tuesday, considering that NXT TakeOver 36 is Sunday, so that would make sense. He then followed up another tweet stating, "NXT taping schedule may be temporary, but for sure, they're taping several episodes after TakeOver." Now, there was a report from Andrew Zarian, and he came out with two reports stating that USA Network executives and television executives are not happy with WWE at all, especially with the reports of NXT going back to a taped format. Andrew Zarian came out with two reports stating, and I quote, number one, he stated that USA Network executives stated, and I quote, "A taped show is not what we paid for." And he stated, and I quote, "TV executives are, quote unquote, not very pleased with WWE." End quote. Now, I understand why a taped schedule would be better for the wrestlers. I do. I understand that. I understand why a taped schedule would be better for the wrestlers. I understand why it would be better for their bodies, why it would be better for everything overall. I understand that. I'm not against that. But I'm looking at this from a Vince McMahon standpoint. Because Vince McMahon clearly is in control of NXT. I mean, look what's going on. There's no conference call. Why? Because Triple H is not in charge. You think that Vince McMahon would willingly take a conference call from all these people? He has to deal with the shareholders on a quarterly basis, and he already spews nothing but excuses and bullshit their way. So of course, he's not going to do a conference call, because he'd have to do that and answer to the public more often, and he's not going to continue doing that because the public will catch on with his bullshit. You get where I'm coming from right here, I'm pretty sure. Why did Vince McMahon do this? Why is Vince McMahon going back to a tape schedule for NXT? I would not be surprised, and this is how it's coming off to me. I legitimately wouldn't be surprised if Vince McMahon is legitimately trying to somehow manipulate his way out of this television deal for USA Network. He's trying to somehow, some way, get USA Network to end the deal early, so that way he can go back to putting NXT on Peacock at 1 hour, or however long he wants to put it on, and we could very well see Vince McMahon just molding this developmental brand in his image. I wouldn't be surprised if he's legitimately trying to manipulate his way out of this current USA Network deal, because now he has no use for NXT on the USA Network anymore. They couldn't get the job done against AEW. And to be quite honest with you, Vince knows that NXT and whatever they're drawing on the USA Network, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they got Raw on the USA Network, and though Raw may be the worst wrestling show on the planet, it's the highest viewed show for USA Network. Now that's not saying much because the content that USA Network spews is terrible as it is, but it's the highest viewed show. So you already got Raw on the USA Network. Then you got the Peacock money from NBC Universal. They're riding out the rest of the SmackDown deal with Fox, and then they're going to move SmackDown to the USA Network. So at the end of the day, he doesn't need the extra money from NXT on the USA Network. He doesn't need it. I wouldn't be surprised if he's legitimately trying to manipulate his way out of this contract. He's trying to breach the contract so that way USA Network will end the deal early so we could put NXT on Peacock and make it the developmental system that he wants it to be. And then Triple H wants to come out, oh, nothing's changing with NXT. It's still the same old NXT. It's just the natural progression of things. It's evolution. There's no conference call. You can clearly sense the difference with NXT. Triple H, please don't bullshit me. It's quite sad. It really is. It's quite sad. I got a report from PW Insider. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair have missed the last 2 WWE live events recently. Jonathan Rossap, he was the first one to report that they went missing due to unforeseen circumstances. PW Insider then came out. They spoke with several sources in the company who expressed the concern that the planned SmackDown Women's title match will not take place at SummerSlam, but there is no official confirmation. No official confirmation. Now, I talked about this with Hibiki. Last night on the rundown for SummerSlam. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I really don't know what's going on. I really don't know how they are planning this out. I really don't know how healthy Sasha and Bianca are. I'm assuming that they are okay because WWE is still advertising this match, but I have not heard anything. I have not heard anything regarding what the issue is with Sasha and Bianca. I really don't understand why they are keeping it so close to the chest. Yes, they may be entitled to their privacy, but still, this is a big money match. This is the only match on SummerSlam for the women that is a big money match that is going to turn out semi-decent compared to the other two. Alexa Bliss and fucking Eva Marie. Nikki Trash versus Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. No Identity Ripley. You really think that those two matches are really going to bring awareness to the women's division and women's wrestling? No, it's going to be Sasha and Bianca because they are two of the best women's wrestlers on the planet. Plain and simple. But I don't know what's going on. I see Adam in the chat. He just confirmed to me Sasha and Bianca are cleared to go for SummerSlam. I guess that just completely debunks the report right here. Rather odd that they were advertised as they weren't even going to be on SummerSlam. Rather odd, but hey, whatever it may be. Whatever it may be. I actually got some pay-per-view news for WWE. I got some pay-per-view news for WWE. For those of you who have been wondering, I got some pay-per-view news. Now, number one, according to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, WWE has announced the December pay-per-view to take place on December 12th in Rosemont, Illinois. This is rumored to be TLC. Funny how they're doing that in Rosemont, Illinois. Funny, because around that time, a certain someone, wink wink, would have already made his debut. And I know that everyone knows who I'm talking about because we're on the verge of history tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me on that. But for those of you who are wondering about the pay-per-view schedule, Mike Johnson confirmed that TLC is rumored to be on December 12th in Rosemont, Illinois, for anyone that is wondering. I got another report from Jonathan, and this is going to be my final report before we move on to the weekly show reviews, and we got a lot to talk about in the weekly show reviews. We got a lot to talk about. Shout out to Earl Cole. He's in the chat. He's going to be live tonight for his SummerSlam predictions, of course, on Facebook. If anyone has Facebook, again, please hit me up on Instagram. It's at the DJ Storms, and I could send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. We love new members. We love to get new people in there, and we love to invite new people and grow the community. Please shoot me a DM if you want to join. Danielle is there. Rob Wells Jr. is there. Adam Carl's there. Earl Cole's there. He's the top administrator over on the DJ Storms Posse Facebook page. Please, please. And he's also one of my number one sources for news. Because Earl Cole, he's on top of everything with the wrestling news. And I greatly appreciate Earl Cole for that. I greatly appreciate him. So Jonathan, you know, the guy that I live rent-free in his head, just pointing it out there. I love to piss off Jonathan. So, he reported that there is a chance that the 2022 Royal Rumble could possibly take place in February. St. Louis, Missouri is actually the front runner for the show location. The report stated, and I quote, "One of the more interesting notes about the Royal Rumble is that there has been significant internal discussion about it actually happening early February for the first time in history." End quote. Now, I don't necessarily have a problem with this. I don't have a problem with this. And I'm going to explain to you why. I don't have a problem with this specifically because of the fact that there is a reported New Year's Day pay-per-view happening in January. Now, I'm not sure if they're moving it to February because of St. Louis and they've got some things going on in St. Louis, so they got to move it to early February, or it could be because of the New Year's Day pay-per-view. I'm not completely sure. But if they're moving it because of the New Year's Day pay-per-view, I don't have a problem with that because there's already too many pay-per-views as there is right now for the WWE. So if they want to, they could easily do a pay-per-view in January with the New Year's Day pay-per-view, whether it be New Year's Revolution, New Year's Bash, whatever you want to call it, and then you do the Royal Rumble early February. If that's the case, I don't have an issue with it. Matter of fact, the location and the date and the time and the month, it's a very minuscule detail as it relates to the overall show, because at the end of the day, I think I can speak for everyone here. Nobody cares where it's held. Everyone is just looking for a decent show. So it could be held in January, could be held in February, March, August. They could do it in October, do a fucking Halloween costume Royal Rumble. At the end of the day, all I'm looking for is a decent show. The Royal Rumble this year was excellent. If you give me a Royal Rumble like that every single year, I don't think anyone would complain, no matter where it is, whether it be in February or January or whatever. At the end of the day, the location, the date, the month, the time, it means nothing. At the end of the day, just give me a decent wrestling program. Will WWE do that? Probably not. I'm actually still shocked that the Royal Rumble this year was as good as it was. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are your news, rumors, and reports, people. Those are your news, rumors, and reports. Let us check the chat. We got 9 people in here. We got 10 likes. If you guys have not liked the stream, please make sure to smash that like button, as if you got a mallet and you're trying to smash a watermelon. Smash that like button. Everyone is wondering if CM Punk is not showing up tonight. CM Punk is showing up tonight. Please, people. Please, people. Hula Grim, you're treading a very, very thin line here, pal. Just hit the like button and be quiet. I have a cold here. Cut me some slack. I'm doing this shit for you, and I got a cold. Alright? I'm watching all of you. Earl Cole, stating that Survivor Series is going to be on November 21st. Indeed it will. Everyone's, what are you people saying? CM Punk's not showing up tonight. Please, don't even, people. Don't even. Please make sure you, share out the stream, people, if you haven't already done so. We want to get some more people in here. We only got 11 likes. I think that we can get some more likes. I know Dee Dee's lurking. I'm sorry if I'm not ranting enough. I'm just trying to save my voice. But, please, make sure sharing out the stream, hitting that like button, because we got a lot more to talk about. Thank you very much, Mr. Hula Grim. You are fantastic. I'm very, very happy to have you as a loyal supporter. Let's get into the weekly show reviews, shall we? Because we got a lot of material to dissect with these weekly show reviews. We got a lot of material to dissect, people. Let's actually talk about SmackDown last week. SmackDown last week, very, very lackluster show. Very, very, very lackluster show. Very lackluster show. Very few things to even care about. And I am very, very, very disappointed in WWE. They have not put any effort into this build for SummerSlam. Nobody cares. SmackDown, everyone was jumping for joy. Oh, SmackDown did a 2.5. No, it didn't. It did a 2.08. You cretins. You absolute pathetic little cretins. People. I know, Adam Carl, he didn't watch Raw. I had to watch Raw for him. Trust me, I took the notes, bro. I'm going to be talking about it a little bit later on. But let's talk about SmackDown. John Cena. Of course, Dee Dee's favorite superstar. Or is it Randy Orton? Are you a Randy Orton girl or a John Cena girl, Dee Dee? So, John Cena kicked off the show. He welcomed everyone to SmackDown. He said, "We are on for SummerSlam." Cena said, "Roman, you're a D, a below average D, a D bag, and a huge disappointment." The only one buying into Roman Reigns is Roman Reigns. And at SummerSlam, Roman Reigns is going to get an F from John Cena. Pop quiz with a question of my own. Do you think Roman Reigns will beat the hell out of me at SummerSlam? Crowd booed. Cena said Roman Reigns will, but he also knows that Roman Reigns will lose at SummerSlam. No, he won't, John. No, he won't. So Reigns then came out with Paul Heyman, of course. Took forever to get to the ring. Still making his entrance as we came back from commercial. So Reigns took the mic. He says, "Don't waste my time, Cena." Cena said, "I'll wait 1 week from tomorrow to embarrass you at SummerSlam." Reigns goes, "That's all you got?" Cena says, "It's all I need. You think this is your show, thinking we gotta play by your rules. Everybody knows it belongs to them." Cena, I'm going to steal a meme from you. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Belongs to us now. Really? Really, this is John Cena saying it belongs to us, but yet Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard and, "My name is Mr. John Laurinaitis." I guess that I have a cold. I can do the John Laurinaitis voice even better. "I'm the Executive Vice President of Talent Relations." Those guys are editing our crowd reactions and piping in cheers, but yet it belongs to us, right? No. AEW is the show that belongs to us. WWE, they do everything in their power to give a big old birdie to their fans. So, Cena, you are sorely mistaken. I think you've been away at Hollywood a little too long, Jonathan Cena. So, Cena goes, "I'm the only one that can shut you up. WWE's been pushing you for a decade. You're all that they got. They asked me to come back because you need a big old slice of humble pie. Roman, they know that they got 1 week left to choose. Tulsa has chosen. SummerSlam will be history." So, Reigns goes, "You make penis jokes, but give me some good stuff." Cena goes, "Reigns is gonna beat my ass. Punch, named after a DC superhero. But I don't need to prove myself. All I need to do is pin you. 1, 2, 3. And that was the recurring theme for this promo. So, Cena goes, "I hold on to that one time. That would be number 17 for me. And all I need to do is that 1, 2, 3. I'm here to help you." Reigns goes, "He's here to help the tribal chief? I did things differently. You're John Cena. You've done things that no one has ever done. You're the best. You're even good enough to juggle Hollywood and WWE. You're good enough to win the WWE Championship, but you're not good enough to win the Universal Championship." I hated that line. I don't understand where that even came from. I don't understand why they even decided to do that. I mean, you pretty much just buried a championship that's been around since day one. You buried the most prestigious title in the industry that's been around since the 1960s. But you're hyping up a title in the Universal title that's only been around for 5 years? Piss poor writing. Piss poor writing. Not a good promo. So Reigns goes, 20 plus years of missionary might be good enough for you, but it wasn't good enough for Nikki Bella. Take us home, kid. Really? You're bringing up the Nikki Bella incident? I don't understand. I really don't understand. It's so confusing to me how they just half-assed this promo. They just half-assed it. I don't know what they were going for here. I'm not sure what they were trying for. It just felt very, very, very unorganic. I don't know what they were doing. So Cena goes, "You haven't been embarrassed. You've been protected. You almost ruined Seth Rollins. You ran Dean Ambrose out of WWE. You want a compelling story at SummerSlam? He knows how good I am. All I need to do is hang in there. All I need is 1, 2, 3. Who did John Cena beat to become a 17-time world champion? All I need to do is hang in there. 1, 2, 3. I may even blow you a kiss goodbye. CM Punk reference right there. Even Cena knows. No one can protect you anymore. At SummerSlam, the champ is gone. 1, 2, 3. This segment could have been a lot better. I don't know what they were going for here. I'm not sure why they just half-assed this segment. I honestly don't know what the end game here was. It just felt very lackluster. It felt very, very unorganic. Why is it that there's no backstory? It's like they're acting like their No Mercy match never even happened. They're acting as if the first time they fought meant nothing. I don't understand why they didn't bring up the fact that they fought at No Mercy. You could have had Roman say, you know, Cena's gonna give me a nice slice of humble pie, but didn't you have the chance to do that? Didn't you have the chance to do that at No Mercy, and you failed? And back then, I was nothing more than a corporately created John Cena bootleg. So what makes you think you have a chance of beating me now? You could have said with John Cena, Roman, you think that you're untouchable, and with that type of mentality comes complacency. All I need is one mistake. You need to wrestle a perfect match against me. But the second you make a mistake, you're done. I'm going to capitalize on that opportunity. You couldn't have gone along those lines? Why are you making high school, dick jokes and past relationship jokes? This is the biggest match of Roman Reigns' world title reign with this current character. And you're just treating it as if it's nothing. Oh, SummerSlam's already sold out. Oh, it's John Cena, Roman Reigns. The match is going to sell on name value alone. Edge and Seth Rollins have had a better build than Roman and Cena. With Edge and Rollins, you would think that they're fighting for the Universal title, not Reigns and Cena. I don't know what this was. But the build has been so piss poor, even for this match. WWE should really be ashamed of themselves. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental Championship. Ref actually ejected Rick Boogs and Commander Aziz. So coming back from commercial, Crews with a superplex for a 2 count. Crews with a sit-out powerbomb on Nakamura for a 2. Crews tried to use the ropes for leverage, but the ref caught him. Nakamura with a spin kick and a landslide for a 2. Nakamura with an exploder suplex and a Kinshasa. Nakamura is the Intercontinental Champion. Now, first off, this was a good match. Good wrestling match. But, a couple of things here. Good wrestling match. Am I happy for Nakamura? Yes, absolutely. Nakamura's career has been rejuvenated because of Rick Boogs. There's no way that you were going to have Nakamura in this current gimmick with Rick Boogs and not give him a championship. Whether it be the Money in the Bank briefcase, the Intercontinental title, or they build him up for Roman and have him win the Universal title. They chose the Intercontinental title. Fine. But, number one, you really couldn't have waited 8 days. You couldn't have waited 8 days to do it tomorrow at SummerSlam. You couldn't have waited 8 days. Do it tomorrow at SummerSlam. And on top of that, Nakamura. Am I happy for him? Yes. But does it mean anything? No. No. They didn't do anything with Apollo Crews. And Crews rejuvenated this Nigerian warrior gimmick. Crews rejuvenated his career with this gimmick. And Crews, he was treated as if he was nothing. He was booked like shit. So it doesn't matter who the championship is on. They're going to book the champion like shit regardless because they don't know any better. And they don't care because he's not Roman Reigns. Or he's not John Cena. He's not Bill Goldberg. He's not Edge. He's not Charlotte Flair. So they don't care. So I'm happy for him, but at the end of the day, if they didn't do anything with Cruz, there's no reason why Cruz shouldn't be at Roman Reigns' level. If they didn't do anything with Cruz, they're not going to do anything with Roman. They're not. Or excuse me, Nakamura, sorry. They're not going to do anything with Nakamura. Sorry. Very good wrestling match. I'm happy for Nakamura, but they won't do anything with Nakamura as the champion. Doesn't matter who the champion is. So the win essentially means nothing. I still find it funny. I really find it funny. Eva Marie and Alexa Bliss, they got a SummerSlam match. Jinder Mahal has a SummerSlam match against Drew McIntyre, but you don't find any value in Shinsuke and Apollo Crews and the Intercontinental Championship. So we got Street Profits versus the Alpha Academy. Street Profits were using their quickness early on. Otis with a fallaway slam. This was very, very disappointing. This is very, very, very disappointing. I don't know why they just took this for granted and just let it slide like this. 4 minutes. Angelo Dawkins gets the win with a double underhook neck breaker. The Alpha Academy is essentially... they're essentially done. You had the opportunity to build them up. You didn't do anything with them. Street Profits, who cares? I don't get it. Street Profits win. Who cares? Seth Rollins came out. Rollins came out to address the WWE Universe. He goes, Tulsa, you've been on fire, but I hate to play party pooper, but sources have told me that Edge will not be here tonight. So crowd chanted, we want Edge. And Rollins goes, but according to Edge, you got the next best thing. You got Edge Light. If that's not the most narcissistic thing I've ever heard, but it makes perfect sense. He can't stand the fact that my career has been a little bit better, and we got proof. I put together a career retrospect of myself and Edge. So they rolled footage of the similarities between Rollins and Edge's career. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff, actually. I gotta give him credit where credit's due. The package was beautiful. So Rollins goes, I see no lies. The video footage doesn't lie. Oh, wait. I had a bit of a revelation. Edge and all of you should be thanking me because if I stomped Edge back in 2014, we wouldn't have this dream match. All of these epic moments would have never happened. They wouldn't be pushing his girls on a swing set. They would be pushing him in a damn wheelchair. That was a great line right there by Rollins. He pushed me too far. He's compromising the future of my family. Edge, it's not 2014 anymore. And at SummerSlam, I will not hold back. And I will stomp your head into this mat. And if that puts you out, so be it. Very good promo by Rollins. Rollins and Edge. Rollins and Edge. Best built match going into SummerSlam, hands down. Hands down. And to be quite honest with you, I actually think that this is going to be the match of the night. I honestly think that Rollins and Edge is going to be the match of the night, SummerSlam. We'll see what happens. Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler versus Rey and Dominic Mysterio. Another rematch. Who cares? The Usos came up on the Titantron, tried to distract the Usos, but Dominic rolled up Roode for the win. Who cares? Who cares? Baron Corbin's last plea. Yes, this was actually a segment. Baron Corbin's last plea. So Baron Corbin goes, I've been down on my luck lately. I've had to file for bankruptcy, but when someone like me falls, you want to keep them down. This is the last time I'm asking for public help. So Owens came out. Owens then says, this needs to stop. Stop embarrassing yourself. I've learned from my mistakes. But you use people's sympathy to your advantage. You ruined Balor's contract signing, and who begs for $100,000? Who begs for $100,000? Corbin says, I'm not leaving until you give a minimum of $1,000. Owens then goes, if you can beat me in a match, you'll get $1,000. But if you lose, you end this. Stop begging and you help yourself. So Corbin then started poking Owens. Owens gave him a stunner, and we get a match. Owens versus Baron Corbin. I mean, this wasn't terrible. I'm not going to say that this was a terrible wrestling match. Both guys can work, but at the end of the day, who cares? This Corbin storyline, it makes zero sense. We are supposed to believe that Baron Corbin is poor, jobless, homeless. He's without his wife. His wife took the kids. Can't get a bed. Can't get a house. Can't get a shower. But yet he's working for the largest wrestling company in the world. He's working for the largest wrestling company in the world. And he is signed to a contract that I am 1,000% sure is worth over $100,000. Storyline makes zero sense. It's terrible. It's either Lone Wolf or bust. Ever since they took the Lone Wolf character away from Corbin, he has been undoubtedly one of the worst acts in all of WWE. Maybe even the entire wrestling industry. The match wasn't terrible, though. Corbin with a back body drop to Owens on the apron. Coming back from commercial, Owens with a senton, diving senton for a 2. Corbin with a chokeslam for a 2. Corbin with a deep 6, another close 2 count. Owens with a sunset flip powerbomb, 1, 2, 3, and he wins. And then afterwards, Owens gave Corbin a stunner for good measures. And then in the back, Owens was going to be interviewed, and he ended up stealing. He steals the Money in the Bank briefcase. I mean, I guess he took inspiration from Shinsuke Nakamura. Hey, Nakamura stole my crown, let me steal the briefcase. Lord knows what is going to come out of this. At this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a match at SummerSlam between Corbin and Big E. And we see Corbin versus Big E with the briefcase on the line. Now, Big E's clearly not ready. He's clearly not ready for the world title yet, but you need to build him up in the meantime. And this is the best that you got to build up Big E in the interim? Man, they should be fucking ashamed of themselves. This is the best you got for Big E after he won the Money in the Bank briefcase. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. Main event segment. Sonya Deville was in the ring. She introduced Bianca and Sasha for the contract signing. Bianca took the mic and she said, "You ready, or you gonna run away again? You're still petty. You're still jealous. But I should have known better. But if you wanted your WrestleMania rematch, all you had to do was ask." Nice lines there from Bianca. Sasha goes, "You left me with a scar from your braid and you expect me to just be your best friend? Get real, bitch." So, Sasha Banks bringing the heat, as per usual. Sonya tried to calm everyone down. Sasha said, "I need some witnesses." Carmella and Zelina Vega then came out. They came out. Sasha and Bianca signed the contract. Belair sparked up a brawl. She tried to take out everyone before Sasha with a backstabber. It was a 3-on-1 assault. And then Sasha Banks stood on the table, held up the title, and then she used Bianca's braid to lock in a bank statement. And Bianca Belair was locked in a bank statement with her own braid on the table. And that's the way that SmackDown went off the air. Very lackluster show, as per usual. Typical WWE, putting absolutely zero effort into SummerSlam. The show sucks. This company sucks. Anyone that supports it sucks. The brawl was great, though. I will say this. The contract signing in the brawl was fine. But I need to ask the question, why are Carmella and Zelina Vega mixing it up and in a partnership with Sasha? Wasn't it just 8 months ago that Sasha was feuding with Carmella? Wasn't it last week that Zelina Vega called Sasha Banks ratchet? But yet, here they are standing side by side with Sasha. I mean, it's not WWE if White Castle Pritchard doesn't pull in a logic gap. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. Makes absolutely no sense. The brawl was fine, but get Carmella and Zelina Vega away from Sasha and Bianca. Why are they floating around the title picture? Why? That was SmackDown for you. Very lackluster show. Terrible show. Check the chat. Check the chat. Thank you for the well wishes. Earl Cole. Yeah, I just need to rest this weekend. I should be okay. I should be just fine. I should be okay. Brad Hilborn. Thank you very much. Jones Inc. Thank you very much for joining. Please make sure you hit the like button. We got 12 likes so far. Brad Hilborn and Jones, if you haven't hit that like button, please make sure you hit that like button. It is vital, people. It is vital. We got about 5 more shows to talk about, and we're going to talk about a show next that is worthy of talking about. And Earl Cole knows what I'm talking about. AEW Rampage, which was last week. The premiere of Rampage was a great show from top to bottom. Really good stuff right here. Thank you very much for the support, Jones Inc. Please make sure you hit that like button. Brad Hilborn, hit that like button if you haven't already done so. Smash it, baby. Smash it, smash it, smash it. Share out the stream to all platforms. Tell everyone about DJ Storms because we want some more likes. We want some more viewers. Even though I got a cold, we are going to light it up here on the channel. You already know the drill. Thank you very much, baby. Thank you very much. 13 likes. I love it. Of course, Dee Dee's lurking. Of course she's lurking. Let's talk about Rampage. Let's talk about the premiere of Rampage last week. Of course, we got Rampage The First Dance tonight. It's going to be a good one. Rampage was awesome. Rampage, I would actually go so far as to say that Rampage last week was better than Dynamite from last week. Last week's Dynamite was it was okay, solid, but not over the top. But this week Dynamite was a lot better. Rampage last week, excellent show. Excellent 1-hour show. Some people are saying that they don't believe that the show stays at 1 hour. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see what happens there. But AEW Rampage, awesome show. We got Peanuts. Peanuts in the chat. How you doing, Peanuts? Please make sure you hit that like button, Peanuts. I know Peanuts is a loyal supporter of me. I greatly appreciate Peanuts. Hit that like button, Peanuts. And yes, I'm glad that Christian Cage is the champion. But we're going to talk about that, actually. Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage. This was a Impact World Heavyweight Championship match, and this match was fucking great. This was a great fucking match from the start. Went nearly 17 minutes. It went nearly 17 minutes, and Christian Cage and Kenny Omega brought it. They brought it. Crowd was on fire. It was a hot crowd in Pittsburgh. I loved it. Omega and Christian Cage, they traded chops back and forth. Omega then pushed Cage to the floor, and he took over. Omega, he was toying with Christian Cage a bit. Christian Cage came back with a snap suplex, loving the intensity from Christian Cage. Cage, then with a sunset flip powerbomb off the middle rope, Omega sold it beautifully, rolled over his neck. Christian Cage with the mounted 10 punches in the corner and the diving uppercut from the middle rope for a 2. Omega with the you can't escape springboard moonsault for a 2. Reverse DDT for a 2 by Christian Cage. Omega with a knee right to the face, right under the chin. And Omega then with a sit-out powerbomb and another V-trigger for a very close 2 count. Christian Cage dodged another V-trigger, and he connected with a very nice spear, but Omega kicked out again. Cage with a Snapdragon suplex, or Cage caught a Snapdragon suplex, excuse me. Cage caught a Snapdragon suplex, and then Cage dodged another V-trigger, and then we saw him snap Omega off the rope, and then he hit a beautiful frog splash. Loved that frog splash. Omega still kicked out, very close near fall. Callis then got up on the ring apron to distract the ref. Omega hit a low blow, and then the Bucks came out, brought in a chair. Omega was going for a one-winged angel on the chair, but Christian Cage hit a kill switch on the chair, threw the chair out of the ring, pinned Omega, and Christian Cage is the new Impact World Heavyweight Champion in a great fucking match. I didn't mind this, specifically because I have a feeling that this is going to be the start of Omega's downfall, and on top of that, it really does further the Forbidden Door initiative. So I didn't have an issue with this. So Omega, he loses the Impact World Heavyweight Championship, right? He loses the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. Then, when the time is right, with Andrade, he's going to lose that next. He's going to lose that next until all he has is the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, right? All he's going to have is the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And then all of a sudden, we're going to see Paige come back. And we could very well see Paige versus Omega, possibly at Arthur Ashe Stadium, Dynamite Grand Slam, who knows? We could possibly see that. And I think it's going to be a damn good match. I don't mind this. And on top of that, considering that Omega suffered the kill switch on the chair, it kind of protects him in a way. So, I don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with it at all. Happy for Christian Cage. Kenny Omega, he was kind of protected. And I see Omega obviously retaining the World Championship against Christian Cage at All Out. And then obviously we're going to see Andrade take the AAA Mega Championship. And then obviously we will see Paige take the AEW Championship from Omega. It's going to be good. But this was a great fucking match to start off Rampage. Definitely the match of the week. Fuego del Sol versus Miro. This is for the TNT Championship. And if Fuego won, he would get a contract. Fuego with a satellite DDT right out of the gate. Crowd was going nuts for Fuego. Another tornado DDT. Miro fell out of the ring. And the count began. Miro just beat the count. Another tornado DDT, but Miro still kicked out. Very, very close near fall for Fuego. Miro caught Fuego. He hit a Samoan drop. Miro then with the running super kick and the game over. Fuego tapped out immediately. Very fun little sprint, perfectly booked. Miro then took Fuego's contract and ripped it up right in front of him, being the heel that he is. Loved it. Afterwards, Fuego was in the ring. Sammy Guevara came out with Tony Khan, actually. And we could very well, and this was actually a great moment right here. Guevara had a mic and a contract. He said, sometimes there's victory in defeat. These people love you. And a lot of guys back there love you too. Tony Khan thought it was only right for me to come out here and say that Fuego del Sol is all elite. I thought this was a great moment. Great moment for Fuego. Very, very happy for him. And hey, the raw, genuine emotion, it's something that warms my heart. And that's what pro wrestling's all about. I loved it. I loved it. Red Velvet. Red Velvet versus Dr. Britt Baker DMD. This was for the AEW Women's World Championship. This was the main event of Rampage, the very first episode of Rampage. Crowd was hot for Britt Baker, as they should be. She is the hometown hero. She's the hometown hero. So, crowd booed Red Velvet, as expected. Velvet, with a leg lariat and a moonsault press for a 2. Red Velvet, man, I love Red Velvet. Red Velvet has really come into her own, and Red Velvet has really made a name for herself. I'm loving what Red Velvet does, and I cannot wait to see Red Velvet grow and mature even more, and I really do hope that she becomes the AEW Women's World Champion by the end of 2022, possibly. We'll see what happens. I think Red Velvet is fantastic. She's doing some great work. She really is. So, crowd was hot for Baker. After Velvet hit the moonsault press, Baker regained control, and Red Velvet came back with an arm breaker. But, Baker hit the swinging neck breaker. She nearly got in the lockjaw. Velvet tried to rip off the cast, and she did. Rebel then got ejected by Paul Turner, the referee. We had a super kick by Velvet and a beautiful moonsault by Red Velvet, but Baker kicked out. Baker then with a knee drop brainbuster. She learned that from Adam Cole, baby. Velvet still kicked out. Baker then with a curb stomp. Velvet still kicked out. Velvet went for the lockjaw herself on Britt. Britt was able to reverse it. Velvet targeted the injured arm. Baker then locked in the lockjaw with her left arm. So she did an ambidextrous move. And Red Velvet ended up tapping out. This was a very good match. Both women worked very well together. And I was very, very pleased with what we saw. Afterwards, Baker tried to attack Red Velvet before Chris Statlander attacked Britt. All of a sudden, Jamie Hayter resurfaced, and she aligned herself with Britt Baker. Crowd didn't really know who the fuck she was, but I'm happy that she's aligned with Britt Baker. Jamie Hayter looks great. She got herself into excellent physical condition. Very, very happy to see Jamie Hayter on All Elite Wrestling. Jamie Hayter, the last time we saw her, was actually very good. I'm glad that she's aligned with Britt Baker, and I cannot wait to see what she does with Red Velvet next week on Dynamite. Should be good, people. Should be good. That was Rampage. That was Rampage, and it was a great show. It was a great show, for sure. Very, very pleased with the outcome of the Rampage show as a whole. Really not much different from Dynamite, but they made pro wrestling a staple on Friday nights. So we actually have a pro wrestling show on Friday nights, because fuck SmackDown, because WWE sucks. AEW's where it's at. DJ Storms is always all elite. It's all elite wrestling all day, every day. Unfortunately, we got to talk about Monday Night Raw. And to answer your question, Earl Cole, no, I would not book a Fatal 4-Way for the women's title. I would book Chris Statlander versus Britt Baker 1-on-1. That would be the correct route to go, people. That would be the correct route to go. We got Monday Night Raw to talk about. We got Monday Night Raw to talk about. Unfortunately, I don't want to talk about it. I do not want to talk about it. But we're going to talk about it regardless because that's what we do here. That is exactly what we do here. So, strap in. I got some shit to say about Raw. First off, it was terrible. Terrible. Lackluster. I didn't care. I'm not sure why anyone would even care about Raw. I think Raw actually was the source of why I have a cold right now. Monday Night Raw was the source of why I have a cold right now. Unreal. So Randy Orton kicked off the show. Took the mic. He says, people have been asking why I hit Riddle with an RKO. How you doing, big boy Johnny? Thank you for stopping by and thank you for hitting that like button. Please make sure, Johnny, you share out the stream. Share out that stream. Get some more people in here. We got 14 likes so far. I think we can at least get to 20 likes, people. We can get to 20 likes, people. Hibiki's texting me. Why is Hibiki texting me? I'm live on YouTube. I'm texting Hibiki right now. I'm live on YouTube. Come and join. Hibiki's texting me. I just promoted your video with me and my video with you, Hibiki. Come on. Why aren't you in the chat? Why aren't you in the chat? We got Dee Dee, we got Jones, we got Earl Cole, we got Big Boy Johnny, we got Brad Elborn, we got Peanuts. Why aren't you in the chat? We got Rob Wells Jr., why aren't you in the chat? Come on, Hibiki, you are slacking. Randy Orton, he took the mic, he was asking, people have been asking why I've been hitting Riddle with an RKO. Why did I hit Riddle with an RKO? He just wants to be your friend. In there lies the problem. I don't need friends. I would have beaten Styles with or without Riddle. Raw is still my territory. Omos is a monster. He's an undefeated force of nature. And I have it on good authority that he's a bit of a jackass. Riddle then came out. Crowd loves Riddle. Crowd loves Riddle for sure. So Riddle goes, I know why you hit me with an RKO. You were just teaching me, bro. You had to teach me a lesson, and I learned my lesson. But I was thinking that we could give RK Bro another chance. Let's bring back RK Bro, says Riddle. Styles and Omos then came out. Styles goes, how about RK No? Last week, you proved nothing. You cheated, and no one will be able to save you from Omos. He will defang the Viper. Riddle, I'm sick of you and everyone else saying bro. I want to break your jaw so that way the paramedics can wire it shut. So I want you right here, right now. Riddle goes, I accept. Why don't you take this thrashing courtesy of the three most destructive letters in sports entertainment, RK Bro. It's actually syllables, Riddle, but yes, we know Riddle's a pothead. Matt Riddle versus AJ Styles. Randy Orton actually walked out on Matt Riddle, but this would not be the last time that Randy Orton and Matt Riddle would cross paths tonight on Raw. Decent little match right here with Riddle and Styles, but again, how many times have we seen this match? This is at least the 10th time that they faced off. You can only do it so much before people are sick of it, no matter how good Styles is and no matter how good Riddle is. So Riddle with a PK and a springboard floating bro. Coming back from commercial, Riddle with a German suplex for a 2. And Ushigoroshi by Styles for a 2. Styles locked in the calf crusher before Riddle got to the ropes. We had an exploder suplex into the buckle by Riddle. Styles then hit the style thing to jump for joy about. So, after this, we had Nikki TRASH, Nikki Trash, or as my man Hibiki calls it, Nikki ASS, Nikki Ass, because this gimmick is ass cheeks. She took on Rhea Ripley in yet another rematch. Nikki getting boos, of course, but the crowd piping in the crowd noises. And here's what Hibiki and I talked about this last night on the rundown. You can literally see the people thumbs downing, yet you hear the cheers. It's just pathetic at this. It's absolutely fucking pathetic. It really is. So Nikki was getting booed, of course. Charlotte Flair then came out. Who cares? Crowd was dead. Rhea Ripley wins with the Riptide. Champions losing again. Good job. Good job. Good job there. Good job there, White Castle Pritchard. Cross then attacked Flair. We get a big brawl. Who gives a shit? This is just one of the handful of bathroom break matches for the show. That's tomorrow, just so you know. Drew McIntyre versus Veer and Shanky. I don't know who the fuck's coming up with these names, but... So, this lasted about 3 minutes. Claymore for the win. Veer and Shanky were banned from ringside. Drew then took the mic and he goes, Jinder, it appears you won't have your goons at ringside. Shanky says that he's sorry and he realizes the error of his ways and he hopes that Drew beats Jinder at SummerSlam. What do you think was going to happen? I'm going to embarrass you and create a moment at your expense that will live forever. He then asked whether Jinder or Drew was going to win. Crowd chose Drew. Drew said, based on that reaction, the results are in. You are screwed. No, the fans are screwed, Drew. Glad that he's not talking about how he's related to Genghis Khan and Pocahontas, but still. Feud with Jinder Mahal? No. I'm sorry. Polite, actually not polite pass. Big time pass. Big time, hard, and very, very, very angry pass. Ain't nothing polite about this storyline. Moist TV. Moist TV. You heard me correctly, by the way. Moist TV. With Johnny Drip Drip. Johnny Shit. America's Moist Wanted. I could legitimately just end the stream right here just because of my cold's fucking killing me right now, but I would legitimately just end the stream off with Moist, just so I won't have to talk about Moist TV. They literally had palm trees and drip sticks and a fucking kiddie pool full of rubber duckies. I mean, am I watching Raw or am I watching Sesame Street with Bert and Ernie? Rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bath time lots of fun. A rubber ducky, I'm awfully fond of you. What is this? What is this? So, Morrison introduced Miz. Miz was his first guest. He was asked what his favorite movie was. Miz says, all my starring roles in the Marine franchise. Morrison then asked if Miz was pretending to be injured. They do the whole correct shtick. Miz says that he's not a liar. Damian Priest came out. Why did Damian Priest come out when he's got a U.S. title match with Sheamus to worry about? Why? So Priest said, we all know you be lying, Miz. I like moisty more than must-see. Why don't you ask Miz why he pretended to be injured? Miz then blamed Priest for his injury. He says that he was the only two-time Grand Slam champion in WWE history. He says he was cleared a couple weeks ago. Morrison says, wait, you were cleared a couple weeks ago? Morrison then booked Priest and Miz in a match. Apparently he's an executive now, and he has the power to book matches. So Priest then pushed Miz into the plastic pool of rubber duckies. This was fucking terrible. It's terrible. Terrible. Miz and Morrison, you may as well just look at him as the WWE version of Burt and Ernie. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Miz and Damian Priest. Sheamus came out to watch. Miz wrestled in dress pants and dress shoes. Miz asked for the dripstick. Morrison walked away. Priest with a bro kick, and he won. Sheamus then took the mic and he called Priest disrespectful for stealing his move. He told Priest that this is my gold, it's not their gold, and he won't let your grubby little paws touch it. And I'm going to kick your bleeding head off your shoulders this Saturday at SummerSlam. That was that. Priest wins the U.S. title. Knowing them, they'll probably put Priest right back into a feud with Miz and John Morrison after SummerSlam. Eva Marie and Piper Niven. Piper, I shall not call her Dewdrop Niven. They were talking. Eva said, you blew it. But before I take care of our Alexa Bliss problem, why don't you take care of our Funhouse problem and handle our other problem? Bring me Lily. So Niven left to bring out Lily, or to get Lily, rather. Miz and Morrison were in the back. They were talking, and Miz asked if this was all water under the bridge, more water references. New Day were in the back, promoting their new merch. Alexa Bliss and Lily were in the playground, talking about Eva and their match at SummerSlam. My God, I hope to hear the loudest CM Punk chants at SummerSlam when this match is up. So, Piper Niven took Lily, stared at it, and then gave it back to Bliss and left. More terrible TV. More terrible TV. Mansoor versus Mace. Ali kicked Mace behind the referee's back, and Mansoor got the roll-up win. Typical. I don't know where this is leading to, but how many times have we seen matches relating to these two? This is like the fourth week in a row that we've seen a match between these two teams in some capacity, whether it be singles or whether it be tag team. Randy Orton versus Omos. Styles kicked Orton behind the referee's back, but the ref actually saw him, and he disqualified Styles. Omos and Styles then attacked Orton before Riddle came out. He attacked Omos, sent Styles over the top rope, and he stood tall. He helped Randy Orton up. So Orton, he takes the mic, he says, respect. Respect is not something that is just given out. Respect is something that you must earn. Now, though in the past I respected you, that does not mean I respect you today. But after everything I've done, after walking out on you, after hitting you with an RKO, you still come out here. You come to my aid, you had my back, so guess what, kid? Excuse me. Kid, you have earned my respect. He goes, yeah, it's happening. RK Bro is back. So he shook Riddle's hand, and then he actually went in for the hug. Riddle then took the mic. He goes, Randy, you make me so happy. He goes, RK Bro is back. You know what that means? It means at SummerSlam, Riddle and Orton, RK Bro, will challenge AJ Styles and Omos for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championship. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Best thing on the show. Riddle and Orton, they are the only good thing on Monday Night Raw, and I would even go so far as to say they're probably the second best thing about WWE as a whole, right behind Roman Reigns. Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy versus Karrion Kross. Jeff Hardy versus Karrion Kross. This match went 60 seconds. Cross attacked Hardy before the match, in the back. Cross then choked out Hardy in 1 minute and won. What was the point of this? I have no idea. Karrion Kross is dead. He's dead. I don't want to hear anything. I really don't want to hear anything out of you. Karrion Kross is dead. He's done. Piper Niven found Eva Marie in the back. Eva Marie said, I asked you to return a doll. This is like slapping me in the face. Do you know what that feels like? Eva then slapped Niven across the face twice and walked away. That was it. Reggie was in the park talking about his memories as a child. Kira Tozawa and R-Truth approached him. Tozawa, he was dressed in a trash can. Perfect embodiment of Monday Night Raw, Kira Tozawa. I don't know why he's still dressed as Kung Fu Naki 2.0. R-Truth was dressed as a fucking seaweed monster. Reginald back flipped out of it, flip, flop, and fly, whatever you want to call it. Flipping and swinging like a spider monkey. And he drove away. And that was that. Reginald. He's been booked stronger than Karrion Kross, than Keith Lee, and all of your champions besides Roman Reigns. Don't know how that's possible, but this is Monday Night Raw for you. Elias, he had another promo packaged. He placed a tombstone right by the fire where he burnt his guitar. It said Elias, 2017 to 2021. He said WWE stood for Walk with Elias, but Elias is dead. I want to care about this, but I don't. I want to care about this, but, I mean, are we just going to act like it's not too late for Elias? We're gonna act like everything's fine? It's too late. It's too late. Doesn't matter what they do. It's not going to work. Elias is a dead act. To be quite honest with you, he is not going to succeed in AEW. He's not going to succeed anywhere. The only place he'll succeed if he gets released from the WWE is Impact. I'm sorry. Nikki Trash and Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair and a partner of her choosing. Charlotte chose Nia Flapjacks with 2 sticks of butter and 5 pounds of maple syrup. Jax was doing a lot of stink faces. Seems like this was a John Laurinaitis initiative to have Nia Jax slap her ass and do stink faces on Raw. Flair with natural selection on Rhea Ripley, and she won. Buried. Rhea Ripley's buried, and you essentially buried Nikki Trash twice in one night. I expect Nikki Trash to actually win tomorrow. I expect her to win. This tag team match was terrible, just like the show. Main event segment, Goldberg came out for his face-to-face with Lashley. He pointed out his son Gage in the crowd. He said, "You're the reason why I came out of retirement. I wanted you to see who Goldberg is." Lashley and MVP came out. MVP said, "We're hearing a lot from you, a lot more than we would like to hear." Man, I agree with you, Mr. Porter. We're definitely hearing a lot more from Goldberg than we want to hear. So, MVP goes, "Maybe you realized you're outmatched. You think you could be the Goldberg of old, but when you locked eyes with the Almighty, it would be different. You run into a man who's more dangerous than you, more ferocious than you, and more dominant than you." Lashley then took the mic. He said, "I gave you every opportunity to bow down and walk away. But you're too damn stubborn, and now you play by the house rules. And around here, the house always wins. I'll give you just enough to tell your family and friends you had the privilege of having your career ended by the almighty WWE Champion. You're in the house of the Almighty." Goldberg Goldberg then took the mic and he goes, Lashley, that's bullshit. Lashley then went for a punch. Goldberg with a weak-ass spear. And then he took his son Gage and left. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Raw sucked. Raw was absolute trash. No one cares. And SummerSlam is looking like a dud of a show. We have about 3 more shows to review, and then we're going to get out of here. William Davis, thank you very much for joining. Goldberg's ain't relevant. I'm sorry, bro. He ain't relevant. There are a lot of idiots that want you to believe he's still relevant, but he's not. I'm sorry. Just letting you know. He ain't relevant anymore, buddy. He's not. But thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for joining. William Davis, if you could hit that like button, I would greatly appreciate it. We got 15 likes so far, and I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you for stopping by. We got 15 likes so far. Let's see if we can get to at least 20 people. I want to get to at least 20, and I want to get as many people in here as we can possibly get in here. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you stopping by. Oldberg, yeah. I also call him Cocaine... Wait. Oh, I interviewed at Extreme Rules in Philly. Oh my god, dude. I'm surprised you still remember me. William. Man, thank you very much for stopping by. You know what? Let me see if I can find that video. Let me see if I can find that video on my phone. This was actually a pleasant surprise. Let me see if I can find that video. Let me see if I can find that video. Let me see what I could do here. Come on, come on. Where is it? Where is it? I'm trying to see if I can find this interview right here. Playlist. Here we go. Here we go. Jennifer, Will, and Nick. Man, I remember this. This was from 2 years ago. That was also when I actually met Joseph Conlon as well. Wow. Wow. I remember that, man. Hey, thank you for checking in. I greatly appreciate you, brother. I greatly appreciate you checking in. Definitely means a lot, man. Definitely means a lot. And hey, if you could get some more people in here, notify everyone that DJ Storms is on YouTube. We want to get more likes. We want to get more likes, Will. Let's go. Let's get some more people in here. Get some more likes on that. We got 16 likes so far. I like it. We're going to talk about NXT next, actually. I'm sorry about the cold. Been quite a while, brother, but thank you very much for stopping by. You are fantastic. I greatly appreciate you. Get some more people in here. To answer your question, Rob, I used to play video games. I actually haven't played video games in 2 years. I've really been focusing on other things, obviously with the brand, obviously with my job, obviously graduating college was a top priority, which I did this year, and then obviously now it's finding a full-time job, so I'm just trying to take things slow. I'm trying to take things slow. NXT. Was it a bad show? It was a decent go-home show. We got some decent wrestling on the show. We got some great promos. We got some great promos and great vignettes and video packages on the show. Show wasn't bad. NXT is never a bad show. Here's the thing. NXT has never been a bad show. The problem is that now, with the new edict and Vince McMahon taking over, no matter what anyone wants to say, Vince is taking over. I'm sorry. Vince is taking over. And after the mistreatment of so many NXT talents, it's hard to care. It really is hard to care. It is. I'm sorry. It's hard to care. But the show wasn't terrible. Diamond Mine was in the ring. Malcolm Bivens took the mic. He says, I dislike negativity, but Kushida is a liar. Kushida is a coward. But if I was Kushida, I wouldn't want to defend my NXT Cruiserweight Championship against Roderick Strong either. Whatever Roderick Strong wants, Roderick Strong gets. It's open challenge season, so let's get this party started. Ilya Dragunov then answered the challenge. Now, I thought that this match was damn good for what it was. It was hard-hitting, it was physical, it was intense, but I don't understand why you needed to have Roderick Strong lose when he is coming up on a Cruiserweight title match with Kushida when Kushida's obviously ready. I don't understand why you needed to have Roderick Strong take a loss here just to build up Dragunov because you gave Dragunov a loss last week. I don't understand that. I hated that booking. It was very, very, very main roster-esque. Now, the match was damn good. The match was damn good. I love the match. Very intense stuff here from both men. So Strong was in control with a half Nelson backbreaker to Dragunov on the apron. On the apron. So coming back from commercial, Dragunov came back with a German suplex barrage. Dragunov was bleeding under his hairline. He was wearing the crimson mask. Looked great. We had a big teardrop suplex for a 2. Strong with a big knee to counter, but Dragunov hit Torpedo Moscow. And Dragunov won in a damn good match. I don't understand why Strong needed to lose, but I do assume that at the end of all this, Roderick Strong's going to be the new Cruiserweight Champion. And that will be that. Dragunov then called out Walter. He was screaming for Walter, but Walter did not answer. That would not be the last we saw Dragunov. Adam Cole, and Kyle O'Reilly, prime target. This was an excellent fucking promo package. This was a promo package that brilliantly highlighted the history of Cole and O'Reilly in NXT, what the match meant to them. Here's what I want to know. Why aren't we seeing this on Raw and SmackDown? Why aren't we seeing things like Prime Target on Raw and SmackDown? This stuff right here, this makes people even more excited for these inevitable matches. Stuff like this will get people even more hyped for the inevitable match. I want to see shit like that on the main roster. Will we see it? Probably not. But this promo package was excellent. Excellent stuff. Hit Row came out. B-Fab. She says, you thought we're gonna be playing games? Swerve says, this beef has officially reached the level of on-site. Escobar then came up on the screen, and he was in the parking lot. He says, when I took this, he was showing him his grill, when I took this, it was fun. When you burnt the mask, message received. I would give this back, but I don't trust your crew. I'm out here. Leave Raul, or no Raul, no Joaquin. So how about you come out, and I give this to you, and we settle this like gentlemen. Swerve then goes, say less. And he goes to find Escobar. Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza actually find Swerve, and we get a big brawl breaking out in the parking lot, which I thought was great. Hit Row then followed suit, and Top Dollar got tossed into a garage door. Mendoza got tossed over a car. Swerve ended up getting his grill back, and Hit Row walked away. So, I'm liking this. I'm liking the interactions. I'm liking the program. I'm liking the feud with Hit Row and Legado del Fantasma. I'm liking it. And I cannot wait to see the inevitable match between Swerve and Escobar. It's going to be good. We got Danielle's favorite current superstar, Cameron Grimes. I'm not sure if you knew, Danielle, but Cameron Grimes is going to the moon. He took on Josh Briggs. Knight and DiBiase were on commentary. Grimes wrestled in his butler suit, and he wrestled damn good in his butler suit, and he ended up winning with the cave-in to Briggs. Knight afterwards punched DiBiase in the face, and then he gave Grimes the BFT on the floor. And he stood tall. So, I'm very much looking forward to their match on Sunday. I think it's going to be a great match. I think it's going to be a match that could potentially steal the show. This is the storyline that people are most invested in with NXT. Cameron Grimes and LA Knight. And when Cameron Grimes gets that $1 million title, it's going to be a big moment. It really is. Dexter Lumis and Indy Hartwell versus Robert Stone and Jesse Kamea. This was terrible. Fucking terrible. This storyline is trash. Robert Stone is trash. Indy Hartwell made Kamea tap out with the silence. Beth Phoenix then handed Indy Hartwell something, and Indy Hartwell kneeled down and proposed to Dexter Lumis, so we're getting a wedding. Dexter Lumis nodded yes. Pro wrestling wedding is not going to end well. This is going to be terrible. But outside of this, that was really the only negative thing on the show. But this sucked. This was absolutely terrible. This was a complete waste of time. I don't understand why this needed to happen. I'm not sure why you deterred Dexter Lumis away from the North American title and into a romance storyline with Indy Hartwell. Stupid. We had a face-to-face split-screen conversation and interview with Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, and this was an excellent segment right here. Gonzalez says, if Kai betrayed her so-called best friend Tegan Knox, there was no doubt in my mind that she was going to do the same thing to me in our new alliance. Kai said, wow, tell me, where was your crystal ball a few weeks ago? Raquel goes, what took you so long? I'm no longer a star in the making. I am a super estrella, said Raquel Gonzalez. Kai goes, I kicked your face off before you even had a chance to put your hands up. I'm the person that taught you everything you know, but I didn't teach you everything that I know. Raquel goes, are you going to find the next Raquel Gonzalez to have your back? There is nobody like me. You don't have a real bone in your body, do you? You use people and then become jealous when they become bigger stars than you. I've solved so many of your problems, but this one you have to solve on your own. Kai goes, in 5 days, you can call me whatever you want. You can call me a jealous bitch, but in 5 days, you will call me NXT Women's Champion. Raquel goes, I look forward to the challenge, Psychic. See you at TakeOver. I thought this was excellent. This was an excellent face-to-face split-screen interview. And this really highlighted the importance of this match, and it really got me even more invested in this match. But even though I'm not too invested in this match, specifically because they had Kai lose to Aaliyah on main event, I'm still very, very interested to see where this goes. I'm very interested to see where this goes. I think that, in my eyes, I would give the title to Kai. I would give the title to Kai, but I don't know. I would give the title to Kai, but something tells me that Raquel's going to win. If you guys are looking for my predictions, again, the predictions for NXT TakeOver 36 tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time with Joseph Conlon. Do not miss it. Carmelo Hayes versus Duke Hudson. NXT Breakout Tournament semifinals. Hayes using his speed early on. Hudson just shoved Hayes into the announce table. Hayes with an enziguri coming back from commercial. Hudson with a very nice belly-to-belly suplex. Hayes using his power, obviously. Reminds me a lot of Wade Barrett. Hayes with a slingshot DDT on the apron, which looked fucking nasty. We had a tilt-a-whirl facebuster by Hayes for a 2 count. Hayes then with a punt kick and a diving axe kick. Very, very, very good stuff right here. Decent match. Carmelo Hayes wins. I was actually a little surprised. I thought that they were going to go with Duke Hudson, but they went with Carmelo Hayes. Hayes was then interviewed about Odyssey Jones, and he goes, and I quote, he goes, "Now get ready for the final boss," and plot twist, Odyssey Jones, I'm that final boss. So Odyssey Jones then came out, he goes, "Final boss, Carmella, after I win this breakout tournament, the whole NXT universe is going to sound the alarm." So we got that match taking place next week. Tournament finals take place next week. And to be quite honest with you, I see Odyssey Jones winning, especially with this no midgets edict. Ted DiBiase and Cameron Grimes had a segment in the back. Grimes hyped up himself, saying that after TakeOver, we're going to be $1 million champions going straight to the moon. Awesome stuff right here. I love Cameron Grimes. I think he's going to win. MSK versus Imperium. This was for the NXT Tag Team Championships. MSK was in control early. Quick, fast-paced action before Imperium countered with double body slams to MSK on the floor. Really, really good stuff right there. I love that. Wesley was isolated. Walter came out to watch. Nash Carter came in. He lit up Eichner. We had an assisted standing moonsault for a 2 by MSK. Walter then caused a distraction before Dragunov came out to attack him. And then MSK with the blockbuster heart attack combination to retain. Very good match. MSK retains. I would not have minded if Imperium won, but I actually see the Grizzled Young Veterans taking the titles off of MSK. And that's going to happen sometime in the fall. I don't know when, but I know that MSK is inevitably going to lose those titles to the Grizzled Young Veterans. If not Imperium, it was going to be Grizzled Young Veterans. I had Grizzled Young Veterans right from the get-go. Grizzled Young Veterans are going to be the ones to take the titles off of MSK. Imperium attacked Dragunov. Imperium attacked Dragunov, and they stood tall. So I can see Dragunov winning that match as well on Sunday. Next week, we also got two more matches. We got Hit Row versus Legado del Fantasma in a 6-man tag team match. And we also got Ridge Holland taking on Timothy Thatcher. Main event segment. Main event segment was Samoa Joe. He came out and he took the mic and he goes, "Oh, Karrion Kross, the venom that seeps through my lips when I talk about you. One last face-to-face meeting to verbally eviscerate you. But I'm not a man that is here to hurt your feelings. I'm a man that is simply here to hurt you. So tuck your clock in your back pocket and stroll your ass out here, young champion." So Kross comes out, crowd's chanting, "Where is Scarlett?" He's chanting, "Where is Scarlett?" And that is not good. I don't know what's going on there, but Scarlett, I wouldn't be surprised if they release her. So Kross comes out, he goes, "This is about the future of the brand. You think you're going to become NXT champion after taking a year off?" So security came out. Kross goes, "This is protection for you. And I'm going to drop you, and I think I'm going to drop you real fast." Joe then with a headbutt, and then with a suicide dive to the floor, taking out Kross and the security. Big brawl, spilled over the barricade. Barricades were being taken out. Kross then bulldozed Joe through the barricade and the plexiglass chain wall. Both men were down. This brawl and this segment, great stuff right here from both men. Very, very, very excited to see what they do. And I think that Joe shut down all the rumors and all of the questions on whether or not he would be good to go for TakeOver 36. I think Joe's damn good to go. And I can't wait to see what happens. Not a bad show. Not a bad show at all. But, again, it's just very hard. It's just hard to care. It's very, very, very hard to care. I just don't care. I don't. That was NXT. We got 2 more shows to review. And let me tell you something. A lot of people, They were dumb enough to listen to the trolls. They were dumb enough to listen to the trolls. But you know what? Now, a lot of people have shown me the respect that everyone deserves. I've showed them the respect that they deserve. They show me the respect that I deserve. Everyone is cool here now. We're a family here. Everyone is family here. DJ Storm's posse is family. I used to be at war with Hibiki. Used to be at war with Rob. I used to be at war with a lot of people. And trust me on that. But you know what? I'm very, very happy that I was able to really gain a lot of new friends from what I'm doing here. And Rob Wells Jr., he's been a damn good supporter, damn good friend, and I'm happy that I got him. And I'm very, very happy you consider me as a brother, Danielle. I really appreciate you. That was NXT. Excuse me. That was NXT for you. We got 16 likes so far, 8 concurrent viewers. Thank you very much, everyone. Please, people, I want some more likes. I know you can do me a favor there. Get me some more likes before we get out of here. We're going to review AEW Dynamite next. And Dynamite was an excellent show. An excellent show. So Dynamite kicked off with Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston kicking off the show. They were making their way to the ring. They had a few things on their mind that they were going to say, but that was before Daniel Garcia and 2.0 attacked them. So they dropped them. They got in the ring, and Matt Lee took the mic and he goes, "Darby Allin, Sting, we took out your boys. Now you got nothing. You want a taste? Come and get it right here, right now." So this would actually play into what's going down at Rampage tonight, because we got Moxley and Daniel Garcia after what happened here. So we get Darby Allin and Sting versus 2.0, Texas Tornado match. This was a very, very, very fun start to the show. Awesome stuff right here. Very, very fun. It wasn't a blow-away match by any means, but it was very, very fun. So Darby came up from behind Garcia, and he dropped him with a skateboard. Sting and Darby took the fight to 2.0. The brawl spilled out of the ring and into the crowd. Darby then walked the railing. This was crazy right here. He walked the railing. He walked the banister and jumped on 2.0. Eddie Kingston then took out Daniel Garcia. Darby then brought out a table. 2.0 with a double suplex to Darby on the skateboard. 2.0 then double powerbomb Sting through the table. And Sting, this was crazy. This was classic Sting vibes right here. I don't know why anyone has a problem with this. This was classic Sting vibes, classic Undertaker vibes back in the day. Sting no-sold it. Great. He no-sold it. He no-sold it, stood right back up. Darby with a drop kick, and then a double Scorpion Deathlock. Sting then with a double Scorpion Death Drop and a double Scorpion Death Lock, and 2.0 tapped out. This was insanely fun to watch. Insanely fun to watch. I don't got one complaint about this. This was very fun. And tonight, people, 2.0 and Sting, they're going to, 2.0 Sting and Darby, they're going to have a little face-off, but Darby at the end of it all, people, Darby is going to be the one. Darby's going to be the one to stand face-to-face with, I think we all know what time it is. What time is it, people? What time is it? I think everyone knows what time it is. If you know what time it is, say it in the chat. What time is it? Anyway. Sammy Guevara and Shawn Spears. Sammy actually proposed to his girlfriend. Sammy proposed to his girlfriend, Pam. So, congratulations to Sammy Guevara. He is now an engaged man. This match was a very good match for what it was. It did not go that long, but for what it went, Very, very good stuff. Shawn Spears is great at what he does. Very, very happy that he's starting to find his footing, and this is absolutely a match. This is absolutely a match and a feud that needs to be revisited down the line for the TNT Championship. Sammy is the guy to take that title off of Miro, and then Shawn Spears is going to take that title off of Sammy. This was just a taste of what they can do. So, Spears attacked Sammy early on. We get a big brawl on the ramp. Sammy then dove off the stage with a diving senton. Looked crazy. Spears then took over with a stuffed pile driver to Sammy on the floor. The bell rang. Tully was ejected. So, coming back from commercial, we had a guardrail set up between the apron and the barricade. Spears flipped off Sammy. Spears flipped off Sammy on the top rope. Sammy with a beautiful cutter off the top. Spears then with an avalanche C4 for a 2 count. Sammy then with Spears' own move with the C4 on the railing, on the guardrail, off the apron. Spears was then caught with a beautiful 630 senton, but he still kicked out. And then Guevara with some knees, and then he hit the go to hospital, and he won. Very good match. Very, very good match right here between Sammy Guevara and Shawn Spears. I'm very, 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 very much looking forward to where Sammy goes from here. I can absolutely see Sammy taking the title off of Miro, and this is just another step in the right direction. This was just another step to build up Sammy even more for Miro. Christian Cage and Don Callis had a few words backstage. Cage, of course, calling Callis a carny piece of shit. Dan Lambert, he was in the ring. He goes, AEW has jumped aboard the cancel culture train and sent Lance Archer out to punch a 52-year-old man because he was hurting your feelings. He came out with a few former UFC champions. I didn't get their names. I didn't care. He goes, you're all sitting at home in your mother's basement playing Dungeons and Dragons. Lance Archer came out before Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, the men of the year. They attacked Lance Archer and they stood tall. Not sure where this goes. I'm not really sure anyone even cares about it as well. And I'm not sure who that's on. I'm not really sure who that's specifically on. I don't think anyone really cares about Lance Archer at this rate. And I think it's specifically because of the fact that it wasn't the loss to Cody. It wasn't the loss to Cody. It was the fact that they kept on putting him in these big matches with Moxley for the AEW title, a ladder match for the TNT title, a match with Miro for the TNT title, and they kept on having him lose. He just kept on losing these big matches. So I'm not sure where Lance Archer's going to go. I guess Tony Khan just sees him as more of an attraction. But Lance Archer, he really hasn't done much. I'm not sure what happens with the Men of the Year, but the Men of the Year, they also need a win. They also need a win. I don't know what happens. Maybe we see Men of the Year taking on Lance Archer and a partner of his choosing. Maybe they open the Forbidden Door, and they have Lance Archer bring in someone from New Japan or Impact. I know that they want to do Tanahashi in AEW. Maybe we see Lance Archer bring in Tanahashi as his tag team partner because Lance Archer invited Tanahashi to AEW. Maybe we see Sami Callihan. I know the Chicago crowd are all out. They would pop big for Sami Callihan. We'll see what happens. Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks. This was for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, and this was a great fucking match. I highly encourage you to go back and watch this match if you did not see it. Bucks were in control early. Matt Jackson with a diving crossbody to the floor on Luchasaurus. We had Jungle Boy getting isolated before Luchasaurus came in. He was lighting up both the Bucks with a spin kick to Nick Jackson. Tag to Jungle Boy. Big assisted superplex for a 2 and a tail whip kick to the Bucks. Double choke slam and the assisted cutter by Jungle Boy. Cover on mat, but he kicked out. We had some double super kicks by the Bucks to Luchasaurus. We had a senton tombstone combo, but Jungle Boy still kicked out. Kenny Omega then with a chair, and he took out Marco Stunt. The ref was distracted. Christian Cage came out and speared Omega. We had a chair in the ring. Jungle Boy with a brainbuster on the chair, but Nick saved the match. Jurassic Express then with the Thoracic Express. The back suplex powerbomb combination, but Nick saved it again. Luchasaurus then took out the Good Brothers with the moonsault. Bucks with a BTE trigger, and they retain the titles. Afterwards, the Elite dropped the Jurassic Express and Christian Cage. Omega with a one-winged angel. He covered Christian Cage and Callis with a 1, 2, 3. Now, there's an interesting thing going around now. Tony Schiavone said that we will see a little mini tournament. We're going to see Private Party, Varsity Blondes, Lucha Bros, and Jurassic Express, and we will see a mini tournament. The winner of this tournament will face the Bucks at All Out for the AEW World Tag Team titles inside a steel cage, and it's going to be great. I love it. Tony Schiavone, he introduced Paul White. Thanked Paul White for what he did last week. Felt so good to come down the ramp, step over the top rope, send Aaron Solo on the ride of his life. So, obviously, this was Paul White talking about what he did last week. QT in the Factory came out and he goes, Houston, we have a problem. They have a big, big problem. Factory wanted to stop you before you said something that you couldn't deliver on. So, obviously, that is a shot at what happened with Christian Cage back at AEW Revolution. QT goes, there's a reason Tony Khan hired you as a announcer, not as a wrestler. Instead of me trying to explain it to these morons, I am privileged to know a lot of important information. QT then showed x-rays of 3 metal plates showed in Big Show's or Paul White's hip. So, White goes, you think it was a good idea to show pics of my hips and my big beautiful ass on national television? You think that you will stop me from doing things? I already talked to Tony Khan, and at All Out in Chicago, I have a match. And guess who my opponent is? It's going to be Paul White versus QT Marshall. Now, I'm not sure who asked for this. I'm not sure why they decided to do this. I'm a little disappointed in Tony Khan, but this either needs to be a buy-in match. This either needs to be on the buy-in, or this needs to be put on the main show in between 2 matches that you know are going to steal the show, and it needs to be a 60-second squash. So if we do Pac and Andrade, and we get a 15-minute match there, then you do Paul White and QT, it goes 60 seconds, and then we do Punk and Darby. That's how you do it. It's either a 60-second squash on the main show, or it's on the buy-in. Anything else? Complete fucking failure. They're running a big risk doing this in Chicago. They really are. They really are. Tony Schiavone, obviously he told the Bucks about the mini tournament. Then we had Taz and Hook in the ring. Taz introduced Ricky Starks. Starks took the mic. He goes, I want everyone to know Ricky Starks is on top of the world. And Brian Cage, why don't we talk? Let's bring Brian Cage out. So, in the back, they showed Will Hobbs attacking Brian Cage in the back. Starks went to the back with Taz and Hook. Obviously, that's still going on. Not really sure what's going on there. See what happens. Penelope Ford. Penelope Ford versus Thunder Rosa. Really wasn't much of anything to this match. We had Rosa. Excuse me. Rosa was in control early before Ford sent Rosa into the post. Ford kept the pressure on Rosa before Rosa came back with a Meteora and a hesitation dropkick. Butterfly suplex for a 2. Ford with a Muda lock. Rosa reversed it into a Boston Crab. Ford got to the ropes. Rosa with a Death Valley driver for a 2. We had a gut check by Penelope Ford. Another Muda lock. But Rosa transitioned into a rear naked choke and an STF combination. And Rosa won via a tap out. Really wasn't anything, just a showcase for Rosa and a reminder that Rosa is being built up and she is going to take that AEW Women's World Championship from Britt Baker at Full Gear. Next week, we got Varsity Blondes versus Lucha Bros. Tournament first round matchup. We got Malachi Black versus Brock Anderson. Brock Anderson's going to get murdered. Orange Cassidy versus Matt Hardy. And Red Velvet versus Jamie Hayter. I'm liking it. And then, tonight on Rampage, we got Jade Cargill versus Kiera Hogan. Private Party versus Jurassic Express. Tournament first round matchup. And Moxley versus Daniel Garcia. And we also got, and during the few moments that we have left, we want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand. Look in my eyes, what do you see? The cult of personality. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Chris Jericho versus MJF. Maxwell Jacob Friedman. This was Labor of Jericho number 5. And this was incredible. This was awesome. The fans sang Judas. Now, Chris Jericho could not come out to the Judas music. The fans legitimately sang Chris Jericho to the ring. And it was a beautiful thing to see. This was probably one of the best things in pro wrestling all year. They sang Chris Jericho's theme song from the start to the end of the first chorus. This was awesome. It was a great thing to hear. It was a great thing to hear. So Jericho and MJF, this was a very good main event. Very good main event. Jericho and MJF, they brawled on the floor. Chris Jericho targeted the bad arm. Coming back from commercial, we had a big double clothesline. Both men are down. Jericho mounted a comeback with a diving axe handle. MJF with a judo throw into the corner and a double stomp to the injured arm. Jericho then hit a beautiful lion salt. That got a 2. Jericho with the chops to MJF. Nice middle rope Frankensteiner for a 2. MJF then locked in Salt of the Earth. Jericho reversed it into the walls of Jericho, but MJF got out of it quick. Both men started trading jabs and forearms. MJF with the Heat Seeker, the stuffed pile driver on the ropes. Jericho still kicked out. Jericho then caught a low blow from MJF behind the referee's back. Jericho was then locked in the walls of Jericho by MJF. I thought this was great. Jericho got to the ropes. He pulled out Floyd the Bat. MJF got the ring. Aubrey Edwards saw the ring. Aubrey Edwards took the ring away. She was trying to give the ring back to the Timekeepers people. Jericho hit MJF with Floyd. Jericho went for the Judas effect, but he could not hit it. He remembered he couldn't hit it, but he didn't realize Aubrey was distracted. MJF ended up hitting a Judas effect of his own, and then he locked in the Salt of the Earth. And Jericho tapped out. And this is great. This is great. Jericho tapped out. MJF now owns 3 victories over Chris Jericho. And you know, I find it so funny how they say, oh, AEW doesn't push new stars. Really? What do you call MJF? You telling me that he's not a homegrown talent? He hasn't been created? He's not a new new up-and-coming star that's been created. What about Darby Allin? What about Jungle Boy? I don't understand. I really don't understand. It's ridiculous. This was a very good main event. Right outcome, absolutely. And it looks like Jericho is going away for his tour with Fozzy. He's going away for his tour with Fozzy. And it absolutely looks like MJF. I don't know where he moves on to next. But if I'm a betting man, I think that we could be looking at MJF and Daniel Bryan at Full Gear. Who knows? Who knows? I think that we're in for a damn good fall season for AEW regardless. I think that it's going to be a really, really, really fun time for pro wrestling. It's an exciting time. It's an exciting time for pro wrestling, people. It really is. That was AEW Dynamite. Excellent show. Excellent show. Best show of the week. Absolutely. We got 18 likes so far. We have one more show to review, and then we're going to get out of here. Let's see if we can get to at least 20 likes. I just need 2 more likes, people. I just need 2 more likes. It's not that hard. Please, people, please hit that like button if you can. So, we got Danielle Wolf in the chat. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for stopping by, Miss Danielle Wolf. We got 8 concurrent viewers, and we're going to wrap up the Lightning Flash update where we're going to talk about NXT UK, which was also a big show this week, was NXT UK. NXT UK this week, good show. Good show. Not a bad show at all. We got 2 title matches. We did get some decent wrestling. NXT UK, they seem to be stacking their shows up for the next couple weeks. Meiko Satomura, she took on Stevie Turner. This was for the NXT UK Women's Championship. Obviously, Meiko Satomura making people step up to her. Meiko Satomura is being a fighting champion. This is Meiko Satomura's 2nd title defense against Stevie Turner. Amelia McKenzie actually accompanied Meiko Satomura to the ring. Meiko was aggressive early on. We had a nice suplex and a hammerlock before Stevie Turner took over with a series of punt kicks and a running big boot. Satomura with a body slam, rolled through into the STF. Beautiful transition by Satomura. Stevie Turner ended up getting to the ropes. Stevie Turner tripped up Meiko on the apron. Then she sent Meiko into the apron and the barricade. She hit a final cut out of the corner for a 2. Meiko then came back with a Pele kick. Beautiful looking Pele kick, by the way. I love Meiko Satomura is fantastic at what she does. Turner then with an uppercut and a running big boot for a 2. Meiko then with a Death Valley driver for a 2, but Stevie Turner still kicked out. Meiko then with an STF, and Turner ended up tapping out to the STF. This was decent. Decent for what it was. Meiko, though, Meiko was the one that carried this match. Stevie Turner is still very, very green. She's got a long way to go. She's almost like the UK version of Jade Cargill. She's almost like the UK version of Jade Cargill. Like but I think Jade Cargill is a little bit more farther along than Stevie Turner. I think Jade Cargill, she is a lot better in the ring in terms of move execution. I feel as though Stevie Turner's a little too slow. So, then after that, we had Saxon Huxley versus Eddie Dennis. Decent little match right here. I actually thought that this was actually better than the women's match. Saxon Huxley, he's not bad. He's just green as shit. He's just boring. So Saxon Huxley with a Fez press and a running knee in the corner. Dennis then got dropped over the barricade. Huxley then with a running elbow off the apron to Eddie Dennis's back. He rolled him back into the ring. That got a 2 count. Dennis then with a roll-up for a 2. We had a big slam for a 2 by Dennis. Huxley then with a crossbody off the ropes. Diving clothesline and a fireman's carry spine buster. Huxley ended up winning, which was a shocker. T-Bone and Primate then came out, and they dropped Huxley. Eddie Dennis then with the Severn Bridge to Saxon Huxley, and Symbiosis stood tall. Really don't get the appeal of Symbiosis. I mean, they've been losing and losing and losing. I can't remember the last time Symbiosis actually won a match. I don't know what they're doing with Symbiosis. They're good wrestlers, but they're losers. So I don't really know why I should care. Decent match, though. I don't really know why I should care about Saxon Huxley either. Saxon Huxley sure as hell ain't going anywhere. Afterwards, we had Danny Luna versus Isla Dawn. Isla Dawn, this witchcraft character with Isla Dawn, I'm sorry, this is insanely cheesy. It's not as bad as Alexa Bliss, but if you're watching NXT, I think, NXT UK at least, I think you know what I'm talking about. This was insanely cheesy with Isla Dawn. She's a good wrestler, too. That's the difference between Isla Dawn and Alexa Bliss. Isla Dawn can actually wrestle. Isla Dawn's actually a very good wrestler. So I don't know why we need all of this cheesy, hokey, Wiccan magic. But this wasn't a bad match. Dawn with a leg sweep and a drop kick. Luna then came back with a big lariat and a fallaway slam. Nice exploder suplex for a 2. Dawn with a double Meteora. Back body drop. Or excuse me, backdrop driver. Not a back body drop. Backdrop driver, a.k.a. a Saito suplex. But Luna kicked out. Dawn then pulled some of Luna's hair out. This pissed off Danny Luna. And Danny Luna won with the Fireman's Carry Powerbomb. So, this was cheesy. Was Isla Dawn's character. The match was decent. The match wasn't bad. Danny Luna's really coming into her own. And I like the Subculture duo. Or the Subculture faction, rather. I like Subculture. I thought it was great. But, Isla Dawn, very, very cheesy. Glad Danny Luna got the win. I'd actually like to see what Danny Luna can do against Meiko Satomura for the NXT UK Women's Championship. We'll see what happens there. Eva Valkyrie, she's taking on Ginny. Eva Valkyrie is taking on Ginny. This is a no DQ match next week. And next week we also got Rampage Brown versus Joe Coffey. This is a submission or knockouts match. Can't wait to see what's going on there. If you have Peacock, Danielle Wolf, you can watch NXT UK on the Cock, a.k.a. Peacock. I know some people are probably getting mad at me over that joke right there. Main event. Main event was for the NXT UK Tag Team Championships. Pretty Deadly versus Mustache Mountain. This was a great match. I thought this was a great match. And I was actually wondering, were they going to pull the trigger and give Mustache Mountain the tag team titles? They did not. They did not give Mustache Mountain the tag team titles. I thought that they were. But I guess that they want to wait until we at least get some fans back. Quite a shocker. Quite a shocker. But Pretty Deadly, they came out with mustaches. We didn't know if they were real or fake at first, but they ended up turning out to be fake as Mustache Mountain ripped the mustaches off of their faces. Mustache Mountain was in control, but Bate was then isolated before Seven came in with a DDT to Lewis Howley for a 2. Mustache Mountain then with a double suplexes. Bate with the cover, but that only got a 2 count. Seven was then isolated by Pretty Deadly before Tyler Bate got the hot tag. Bate with a diving uppercut. Big exploder suplex to Sam Stoker. A bop and a bang. A bop and a bang to Lewis Howley. Bate then with a huge mega plancha over the top, taking out Pretty Deadly. Capo kick and a Tyler driver. I thought that was it, but Lewis Howley kicked out. Seven tagged in. Pretty Deadly regained control, hit an assisted code breaker to Trent Seven, but Seven kicked out. Seven rolled up Stoker for a 2. We had a slingshot lariat, snapdragon combo, but Stoker still kicked out. Stoker then with a half crab. Howley then threw in the towel. Now this is what I loved right here. This is what I loved right here. This is a flashback to 2018, because if you remember, in 2018, Mustache Mountain faced off against Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly of the Undisputed Era. And Tyler Bate was caught in a modified reverse figure 4 leg lock. Trent Seven was caught in a modified reverse figure 4 leg lock. Tyler Bate threw in the towel. Now, Tyler Bate was caught in a Boston Crab. Trent Seven was trying to get Tyler Bate to reach the ropes. Howley threw in the towel. The ref thought that Trent Seven threw in the towel. Trent Seven was trying to tell the ref, no, it was Lewis Howley. He's trying to make you think that I did. Lewis Howley ended up taking out Trent Seven, and this was brilliant. Brilliant tactic by Pretty Deadly. You know, I don't like how heels cheat, but Pretty Deadly, the fact that they are coming up with new ways to win matches, new ways to squeak out victories, that right there just adds to their heel heat. I love that about Pretty Deadly. I was not a fan of Pretty Deadly. I soured on Pretty Deadly a lot. I did. I soured on Pretty Deadly. They look like a complete jobber team, but, man, they're great. They're great. They got this aura about them that makes you just want to hate them. They're very, very good heels. They come up with new tactics in order to win matches. They're very good in the ring. By first glance, you think that these guys are jobbers for life, but no, they're damn good at what they do. Pretty Deadly's great. They're fantastic. This was a brilliant tactic. Great flashback. Seven was then taken out. Pretty Deadly hit Spilt Milk. Pretty Deadly retained the NXT UK Tag Team titles. I don't know who takes those titles off of Pretty Deadly now. I don't. Do we see another match with Gallus? I don't know. I really don't know, but this was a great match. And Pretty Deadly, man, I can't find myself to say anything disparaging about Pretty Deadly. I'm loving what Pretty Deadly's doing. I really do. I'm loving what Pretty Deadly's doing. Some good stuff. Some really good stuff. And NXT UK was a very good show. Very good show. Ladies and gents, that wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. We reached our goal of 20 likes. You guys are fantastic. Of course, be sure to continue to share out the stream for people that missed it. Please make sure you share out the stream, like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the links in the description. Check out Hibiki High Spots for the not the Royal Rumble, the SummerSlam 1998 review. Check out the rundown for WWE Summerslam 2021 with Hibiki TMD. Tomorrow is, of course, the rundown for NXT TakeOver 36 with Joseph Conlon. I got the rewind coming up for SummerSlam on Sunday and the rewind for TakeOver coming up on Monday. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. You enjoy SummerSlam, enjoy TakeOver. I'm working to get my account back. I'm DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update, and I will catch you guys tonight. Tonight we got AEW Rampage, baby. AEW Rampage, and thank you very much for wishing me well. I'm going to kick this cold, do not worry. But I'm DJ Storms, and I will catch you later. Peace.